demonstration. Namo Manjo Shri Ye, Nama Su Shri Ye, Nama Dhamma Shri Soha. O Namo Manjo Shri Ye, Nama Su Shri Ye, Nama Dhamma Shri Soha. O Namo Manjo Shri Ye, Nama Su Shri Ye, Nama Dhamma Shri Soha. Sogi Jona Lai Janju Mandu Nandi Gyasu Chi Nagi Junyen Gibe So Nangi Jola Benje Sangi Joba Ju Begi Jushi Medo Zhang Jira Lingxi Nide Genba Di Sangi Shinto Mide Wa Yi Yogen Nangda Shinla Jeba Ju Ye Dang Guru Rana Menda Lagan Niya Daya Mi.
운동이지 있어 배정지 근데 나가 테라도 뭐랑 주지 사이는 뭐 넘버 템버 투도 스타트 에 통과도 주지잖아 세도지만 좀 쉬고 선도 체리 에 거기다 안나 우리에 우야고 비가라 에 주지잖아 세도지만 간다 디지에서는 예수처럼 시티 지와 세 토만도 있어 비바가 아 다서 선은 우리에 막 나한테 심마 땅바다 되니까 그거지
Yeah, we do breathing meditations. Please sit according to 7 meditative posture of Vairocana. Then we visualize Buddhas in the space in front of us. In the space, there sit Buddha Shakyamuni. Form is Buddha Shakyamuni, and nature is no different from one's own guru. And he is surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. From them, light rays radiate. 5 color lights and nectar flow into our body, together with our in-breath. It fills our body. And when we breathe out, we visualize all our negativities, obscurations, etc. in the form of black smoke or liquid come out from our body together with the out-breath and vanish in the space. And visualize all our negativities, obscurations, etc. are totally purified. So we first breathe in with our right nostril and breathe out with our left nostril for 3 times. Then we breathe in with our left nostril and breathe out with our right nostril for 3 times. And then we breathe in and out with both nostrils for 3 times. That makes 9-round breathing meditation.
That is the one that is in the town, the dog, Cindy, Manashi, Kadisha, Chaka, Mama's teacher, Mashi, and Tanji, that the Mandana. The one there's a land of Polo Chigo doing by him one. The Ika Pijam to Mandana. The chief pieces of the Chipa shower.
So first we cultivate loving kindness, thinking all sentient beings have been our mothers before. None of the sentient beings have not been our mothers. And all sentient beings have been our mothers for numberless of times. Their kindness to us was exactly the same as the mothers of these lives. So all kind mothers sentient beings, though they wish for happiness and do not wish for sufferings, however, not knowing the object of abandonment and object of adoptions properly, they only create a karma that bring forth the result of suffering. So in our heart, in our mind, strongly cultivate loving kindness thinking. Strongly cultivate loving kindness thinking. How nice if all sentient beings have happiness. How may they have happiness? I will cause them to have happiness. Next we cultivate compassion, thinking, how nice if all sentient beings treat us free of sufferings. May their treators be free of sufferings. I will cause them, their treators, to be free from suffering. Next, we cultivate bodhicitta, asking oneself, who should take the responsibility to free all sentient beings from sufferings, from the sufferings of low realms and from the whole samsaric sufferings? And the answer is, I should take the responsibility to free all sentient beings from sufferings. However, I do not have the ability to free them from sufferings right now. Only those who have achieved the state of enlightenment have the ability to free sentient beings from sufferings. Therefore, for the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. Next, we meditate on emptiness, thinking all phenomena, not even one atoms, that exist inherently. And thus, all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. Set a motivation. For the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. For this purpose, I'm going to receive Lamrim teachings and put it into practice in order to bring benefits to others.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So today we start from this outline, the condensed presentations of how to maintain it. So the actual way to maintain it and the reason why it needs to be maintained by means of two modes of maintaining. And then under the first division, the actual way to maintain it, again, there are 2 points, what to do during the meditations itself and what to do during the periods between sessions. And again, under the first divisions, what to do during the meditation session itself. Again, there are 3 divisions: what to do in preparation, during the actual meditation sessions, and what to do at the end. So today we are going to discuss the first division, what to do in preparations, and in which it consists of 6 preparatory practices.
Lama Selim Binanta, Dakanan Dole was so Dole to the Sunday seats, Chalusa was such a summer Chimotu, GSA, Indo Cities. Lama Selim Binanta, the Jewish to the musician Chamberlain, a Jewish to the Rock, Kanda, Dimmer,
So the preparatory practices, following the biography of Suvarnadripa. Suvarnadripa is a Lama Selingpa. So you should clean your dwellings and arrange representations of the exalted body, speech, and mind. So this is following the biography of Suvarnadripa. And 6 preparatory practices are mentioned in the sutra as well. And the quotations was, bodhisattvas should dwell in a clean environment. Tambo nega shido shila kusudu jitenda nimba cheba yemi jikeba nzeba shima somba te dewa la lila na bichi de la dise cheba shima jano se shiba sogi sada ngaba saja gni de na de jeja ta to ba so ande ni ma bichi ne shawase ta tambo jude to shiwa. So what are the 6 preparatory practices? Cleaning your dwelling and setting up representations of body, speech, and mind. 2nd, laying out offerings. 3rd, sitting posture and mental attitude. 4th, visualization of the merit field. 5th, accumulations of merit and purifications of bad actions. 6th, mandala offering and requests for blessings. So the literal meaning of preparatory practices. So why is it called preparatory practices? Because it is a practice that prepare your mind for the actual practice. So this is the literal meaning of preparatory practices. So it means it is a practice that prepare your mind for the actual practice. Yeah, so even though it's called preparatory practices, however, when we talk about these preparatory practices, you can also call it an actual practice as well. So because they both are the actual practices. So in these 6 preparatory practices consist of all practices as well. So however, it depends on context. Like for example, if the actual sessions that we are going to do is Guru devotions, the topic on Guru devotions, then these the 6 preparatory practices then becomes preparatory. Yeah, so now I'm going to explain the first point or first preparatory practice. So cleaning your dwelling. So cleaning your in Tibetans, so cleaning your dwellings has 4 words. So first word is ne, second word is kang, third word is ji, and the fourth word is do. So the first word is place. So it's a place where you do your practice. So it's in general, like for example, your house.
컴바 대사가 양이 있어.
Oh, yeah. So it's the environment of your place.
다 칸세와데 컴바데들이 다 컴바세와데 가서 누가 냐네 제사기 다 소소 대사 롱데이나다 대사 컴바노 예 누가 냐네 제사가 자푸들이 여러 야 고를 대바이나 다 저 사마 칸다 누가 냐네 제사가 컴바 그런 거 메로와 자푸다 고르다 소 대사가 좀
고르고나한테 자부된 낭신.
자부로와 다 자부스도 대사 강다 컴바서디 컴저디 그스로 그래서 누가 냐네 제사가 자부디나 다 간다 컴비 그스로 그래 다 고르이나 누가 냐네 제사 제가 컴비 그스로 그래와 시 어디 컴바다 소소 그런데 이해와 어디 되게 간다 컴바서디 네 컴세 네 시스마 다 컴바서디
네,那第一个是康巴给医院基本节，鸡蛋也是这第一个节了。That's right. Yeah, so the first word is place, right? So so it refers to the general place or the environment of our the place where we stay. So the general environment of the place we stay. And the second word is kang. So kang has the meaning of house. So in other words is the place we stay, so like the place we do our practice, like for example the room, so specifically the room that we do practice, or the cave in which we do our practice. So this second word kang, if we direct translate, is like house. So this is what that word house refers to.
That is the shiwase. 다 시와 들어와. 다 시와 세와데. 다 나서 대사 지당 소소 누가 냐는 지사 대기 사지 지당 시사인 봐. 다 지당은 나서 사자데 굉장히 전부지고 이 컴바 상대사 컴바 되기 누가 냐는 지사 컴바 되기 야에 있어다. 다 컴바 나노 좀마 기니 좀마 샤데로와 기니 들어와 시와 세와. 이안에 기니 좀마. 다 되기 야에 지당 대기 내다. 컴바스니도 살아. 다 되니가 그야에도 좀 지나 참아마 참아서에 기니 들어와.
And the third word is ji. So ji has the meaning of clean or sweep. So sweeping or cleaning. So the place that we previously mentioned just now, one is the general environment, and the second one is the specific place in which we do our practice. So we clean the dirt, or we clean the rubbish, or sweep the dirt. So that is what it means by clean or sweep.
다 도와 세워데 괜히나마 쉬어도마 도와 드려 간다. 그래서 가도 배 고단 쳐져고 들어와. 네 컴세레. 다 네컴되게 야에는 신나니까만 자만 쓰여 들어와. 사자 니세와 지당아서 소소 그래서 사자 되니 싫어와. 다 사자 들랑 아주 추다. 배 사자 자마다 지당아서 사자 되게 소소 강에 충분한 강수 신ሾ도 봐. 세조조도 지고 사야 돼. 그다 니 되시. 다 대사들의 컴바 수도는 다 가는 되시. 다 야에 배 괜히 있어도마. 다 자마서니. 다 시바마 도와대. 다 도와시게. 다 대시. 다 대시는 가서 연애가 진짜 여러분.
And the last word is do. So do has the meaning of abandon, cast aside, discard. So the rubbish or the dirt that we sweep just now, then now we throw it out. So these four words. First is place. Second one is house. Third word is sweep or clean, and the last word is cast aside or discard. So we the environment that we stay and the place, the specific place that we are going to do practice. So we have to have those conducive conditions. Like for example, we have access to clean water, so it's very easy to get the clean water and etc. So it refers to the external environment, and then the place that we are going to do practice. Then we sweep or clean any dirt or any rubbish out of it. We sweep and then we cast it, discard it outside.
신이 된속에 ஞான에 대해서 처음인데 제발 저도 간다 나오긴 내가 시도 샷들어와 신이 된속에 ஞाने 처음인데 제서들어와 다 간다 저도 집이 중요한 팀을 난주 좀 발로 ஞाने 쳤다와 근데 지금 ஞाने 로 장한테 집은인가 팀을 나로 장한테 ஞाने서 다도 ஞाने 저 하기 나긴 내가 시도 샷들어와
난기 시도 right
나기 시도 샷들 다 시도 샷들 다 되려와 다 되려
yeah. So whatever I mentioned just now, cleaning the environment and cleaning the place that we do practice, it is the external cleansing or external cleaning. So, and there is internal cleansings as well. So that relates to our practice. Like, so then we, like for example, the Guru devotions or the practice of common to the small scopes of beings and a practice common to the medium scopes of beings, then we train our mind in those paths. So that is what the internal cleaning refers to. And this external cleaning and internal cleaning, so they have the relationship of one being it is like the illustrator and illustration. So the external cleaning is the illustrator, or in other words, is exemplifiers. So and the internal cleaning is the meaning it illustrates. So is the illustration. ஞான에 체시해가지 그거를 딱 하자. ஞான에서 체시해가지. 그러와. 어다 들리지 좀 봐이나. 당와서 주소 딘딘 내가디 수수기 쉬게. ஞான에 체하게 들었어. 로주야. 내가 샤워주야. 나 들린 녀도 들어와이나. 나 남기 내가도 참여를 수수기 쉬고 ஞான에 저 차고 들어와. 이소 상황을 개체모. 먼저 지난 샤마지에 지리에 들어 투지다요 뭐다. 예. 지난 남의 당이야. 대소소 상하고 당와 있는 취지에 나는 못 참고다. Yeah, so regarding this cleaning, external cleaning, we have to be, it depends on how we think about it. So the perceptions of it is very important. So when we sweep the floor or when we clean the house, the place that we are going to do practice, then depends on our perceptions, we could accumulate extensive merits out of it. So so for example, we have to work and then we have to do all the housework. Like for example, we have to clean the floors, we have to mop the floor, we have to clean the house, etc. So it depends on how we think we can change it to a practice. We can change or we can transform a normal housework, like for example, sweeping or cleaning, into a Dharma practice. Depends on how we think about it, depends on how we perceive it. So
we should know how to transform or how to bring those housework into a Dharma practice. So if we're able to do so, to transform it, so on one side, we complete the housework, and on another side, we also complete the Dharma practice, or we also do the Dharma practice at the same times as well. So we shouldn't belittle or ignore housework activities. So we shouldn't ignore or we shouldn't belittle, because it could become a Dharma practice.
공 두반년에 최간리 제바이나 통모 소소 대사 강바 사마스고와 다 사마스 내가 시도시에 드리죠와 다 딘디 내가 시도 제고에 준세 누가 가리요리스로와 배샤바이나 가서 배 서저딜라 뱀보다 수수비다 라마리 딘디시 배고요나 간다 사마스고와 뱀보지 레바이나 배 랑시지 뱀보지 친구지 된 담발라 디체페 야요 그가 짜마서 아주 제고요와 다 딘디 소자 소가서다 다 가서게 대 짜마서야 주도 가르치나 소소게 두바 두네 제사게 니게 짜마서게 준세데 다 간다 산지 장주선바 용서도 봐 제진데 제대하러 제대야 제대셔 어 뜻을 짜마서 된대셔 다 산지 장주선바 가신 다 간디는 창사서 제대야 좋아 제대셔 이 체도 다 간다 기바체도 체도 랑 니데 짜마서 라마 주주죠 세다 제발 봐 꾸디다 기바체 이 체도 그 짜마서 유여서 손들어와.
So before we engage in any kinds of practices, be it want to do meditations, etc., first we have to clean the environment and clean the place that we are going to do practice. And the reason why we have to clean the dwelling is because in general, when we want to invite big officers to our house, or if we want to invite lamas to our house, those big shop to our house, then we will clean the house inside out, right? So it's external, we'll clean it, internal, we'll clean it as well. So for the same reason, we also, when we want to do practice, we will also invite guests to the place, to where we are going to do practice. And the guests here refers to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are our guests that we are going to invite when we do our practice. So in order to show respect to those honorable guests, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and in order to show that we are offering service to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then we clean the environment.
시부지 딘디기 상황 담바이나 딘디고요 말이야 딘디 상황 주가 다 간다 초치자와 세대집바 탄치라면 그거다 대비 딘디치에 체도와 대비 딘디기 체도에 상마수 유여사 딘디 상황 있어와 제시다 소소라 대대 지고 유한 딘디기 체도 상황하나 딘디스 상황 주가 말이야.
Yeah, so besides the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then there are also other guests as well, like for example, the deities on the white side. So when we clean the environment, then we should have these motivations is to show respect and then to offer our service to our guests. And so that is our motivations. And if our motivations is just to impress others, so when I clean my environment nicely, and then just to impress others, for such motivations, or just because staying in a clean environment, then I feel very happy. So if for just these kinds of motivations, then it's not appropriate, it's not enough. So in order to show respect to our guests, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, in order to show our faith to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we clean the environment. So this is the kind of motivations that we should have.
This is the salon you couldn't this also with some survivor. And don't let on the Pima son draw. Tida Supe, Lucy on the Pima so that did not pay judging what I'm which you draw. Pima the da, the Niki Sama Salon Pima Sama Survivor, Rangi say Tawanjoa, Shinji Saint Tawanjoa, Hana Gawanjoa. So the Zebi less of. That lesion and Haidi Jivas. 이 라이드 지와서 답이신데 지와서 그 좋아. 뭐 된디기 빼 비에 요래 해서고 하나 상도 스타네. 상서 이나.
Yeah. So if we have the motivations that I mentioned just now, what we're supposed to have. So for the sake of to show respect and faith to the guests, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then we clean. So if we clean with such motivations in general, there are numberless of benefits. However, in specifically, then there are 5 benefits mentioned. So the first benefit is your mind will be clear. And the second benefit is others' mind will be clear. Third one is those deities will be pleased. Fourth one is you accumulate the karma to be born good looking. And the fifth one is one will be born in the Pure Land after pass away.
다 된디 순장 간다로와 저 두스 두바 양리 치사 소수 대사 대서다 짜마야 보지 서와이나 다 가슈리 다 대서다 추 두바 양리 제게 된디 순 두바이나 대서라 로바 지야 치도 가슈리 다 대서 모이라 배고요 그봐 모이라네 간다 두바 양리 치야 소베 소조 치야 다 로바 치야 시 두스 리고 된디 배고가라 다 소수 조고 대와이나 가슈리 다 대서 맞짱원나 시간 생고 맞짱원나 제네 조보시고잖아 그造成 고통만 어떤 내가 진짜 두려워 그 맞짱 하자베 시간 생고 그와 어디 소자 두바 소도 두바 연이 시자 양이 거기나 소 뒤뒤도 그 짜마스와이나 다 가셔 지사도 펜 안다 취 두바 연이 제라 로바진 투님 모시고 잡고 해서 다 간다 가셔 라도 마치 왜 상지대 제주서 뭐 요소 투님 모 잡고 그래 투님 모 잡았으나 대소서 간다 그 뒤따도 뒤에 펜 순조지야
And so if we clean the place where we do practice, so inside out, external environment and the internal place that we do practice, then those deities on the white sides, they will come to the human realms and then offer their assistance to the practitioners, and then they will protect the practitioners as well. And these deities on the white sides, they like cleanliness, they like clean place, and they avoid going to dirty place. So if you do not clean your the place where you do practice, then they will not go near to that place, so that they will not offer assistance to the practitioners, and they will not offer protections to the practitioners as well. So if you always keep your place to do practice always clean, then those not only the deities on the white side, they will be pleased with the practitioners. Even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will be pleased with the practitioners as well. Yeah. And just this cleaning, the actions of cleaning, it consists the practice of Four Noble Truths. Now I will tell you how to link cleaning itself to the practice of Four Noble Truths.
덴바실라 샤오디 동화의 군주니 동화 덴바의 군주니 먼저 나중에 냥이 동화 덴바의 군주니를 봐 매바 소고에 다 시작 들어와 먼저 배냐 타바다 탄지신이야 고바 더와라 동화의 군주니 동화를 가서 먹고야 쓰이나 먹고야 장자로와 먹고야 군이 스칸지요 말아 등이 오다 동화 되게 주대 군주 샤오래 군주니 또 내무 군주 들어와 오다 되니 매바서야 두대 가서 디니어 샤오 동아의 군주니
녀모의 군중을 하기 싫어.
오 녀모의 군중. 아 녀모의 군중 내가 서잔다 리지 군중을 하시지 소통을 와. 오다오 두대 응아서 마짜마스에 두대 마짜마스에 두대 동아의 군중이라 샤 덴바시노.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we clean the place where we do practice, so the dirt that we clean or the dirt we sweep, it refers to the first two noble truths. the truth of sufferings and the truth of origin. So whatever practice that we do and is for the purpose of eliminating these first two truths, right? The truth of sufferings and the truth of origin as well. So no one wants sufferings, of course. So whatever practice that we do is for the sake of eliminating these first two truths, and we achieve liberations, and we achieve the state of enlightenment. So the dirt we clean, or the dust we clean, it refers to these first two truths, truth of suffering and the truth of origin. And the truth of origin, there are two divisions as well. One is the origins of afflictions, another one is the origins of karma. And out of these two, the main one is the origins of afflictions, because by eliminating the afflictions, then gradually we also eliminate the origins of karma.
This is a shama.
Yeah, so dirt or dust refers to first two truths, truth of sufferings and truth of origin. And the broom that we use to sweep the floor or clean the floor is, it refers to, we can link it to the truth of the path, truth of the path. So because truth of the path is the one who applied the antidotes to afflictions and to the ignorance, to the self-grasping that prevent us from achieving the state of liberations and the state of enlightenment. So the one who apply antidotes to get rid of these afflictions and to get rid of this ignorance of self-grasping is the broom.
That is also that is Shama the Landila, that Shama Landi Dutema, Samas and Dashloma Toyarwa. Shloma Toya, the Tabade, that the Tabade, and the Samasunima, the Sama Sotsan, Shloma Tabade, Yubade, they can't go this way, within Singori, that under duty the Dunga the Kunjun Sambachi, Shama the Landin Sambachi, that the Tabada, don't go this way, yes. Then what did told him also, Dunga the Kunjuni Pond, Dunga the Kunjuni Pond. That did to my Shama with some Mashani, the Shloma Tododi, the Sama Chawurwa, Sama Chawuri. They don't know what Sama Chawari, that Sama the Chabati, the Tabati, and what this and what this was not in New Pombi, Panchachi, Pombach Tabach Chadira, what this was Nemu Pangichi, or the Nemu Pombi, that Tabas of Dirwa.
Yeah, so the dirt is truth of sufferings and truth of origin, and the broom that we use, then we can link it to the truth of the path. And after we use this broom to clean the dirt, then now we're going to throw it out, right? We have to discard it outside. So the throwing it out, it has the meaning of purifications or purifying. So then it becomes clean. So this cleanliness. So this cleanliness, we can link it to the truth of the cessations. So by abandoning the first two truths, the truth of sufferings and the truth of origins, then we become clean of it, become free of it, then we achieve such truth of the cessations. So truth of the cessations is the freedom, having abandoned afflictions, or the aspect of abandonment, having abandoned the afflictions.
That do the Shama did so, Dembashila Kanda to Sunday to the Shawa Teganashi. That Teganashi also, then because it's so shiny days, the English joined so shiny days, the Wa, shiny days. That shiny days of Tagara, also Kanda, Dembashila Shani, to share a shield with Wa, or to do the Kanda, Dembashila Shani, shiny days of Tagalia. Kandiji Shabusana, want to be shiny, Roa. Gishina, Jetova, Jetava, they do it. Gishina, Jetova, they do. 제도가 돼도 다 두송사 다 동아의 근육이 잡고 이신이라 제도가 되대 동아의 근육이 아 디커스 디 신이는 또 창조를 자요 신이 되줄 때 자신만 해봐 동아게 올라와 디커스 좀 인신이 좋아하대 신이 되줄 년에 좋아하더라 소치 어디서자 이 신이라 제도비 제도가 제대 돌아샤 때들이 되대 제도비 되대 동아의 근육이 이래 소와 동아의 근육이 마시라 샤고와 어디시 더
So this is how we link the example, and then how's it the example of dirt, example of broom, and example of cleanliness. Then we link it to the Four Noble Truths, and this example is trying the point that why we are doing this is mainly to link it to the topic of Guru devotions. So why we go through these six preparatory practices. The main practice that we want to do is Guru devotions. So we can also link these Guru devotions with the Four Noble Truths as well, using this example. So in relation to Guru devotions or spiritual friends, so the dirt here refers to seeing faults in the spiritual friends. So the dirt is seeing faults in Guru devotions. So since it is dirt, therefore, then we can link it to the first two noble truths, the truth of suffering and the truth of origin. So this is how we have to know to apply it according to the context.
이신이 측이도 때니 때말때니 대상고서지 해럽데 샤마랑데라 메샤 데 샤마르와 데로 샤마랑데 샤마랑데시 데소로 예스카나르와 이신이라 측이도 때말라 이신이 측이도 때니 대상고서지 해럽데 와 대상고서지 해럽 제바데 데 샤마랑데라 메샤다 소로데
And having properly rely on the spiritual friends and the wisdom arisen from listening, contemplation, and meditations, and that is the broom of truth of the path.
다 대신 수기도 다 태사공수 대 시럽대 샤말한데라시네 대린 냐네 수기도 제네와 다 냐네 수기도 제네 다 대신이나 죄도바디야 무엇을 대바까 죄도바데 대신에 죄도바다 마디바 제바 어떻게 니미서 학원에 다 죄도서 파까 로와 마디바서 파까니 다 대신이나 그냥 윤디 대바제바 대신에 윤디다 로와 윤디티니 대바제바 거지지니 그바제바 딜레우와 딜레우디 대신에 죄도의 파 돈으로라 죄의 파 돈으로 들 파타는 거와 어들 파타는 거. 대도 단어디 대바도 토디 다 간다 등고데 다데 대바죄우디 더 타바 죄의 타바 죄도의 타바 당고데라죠. 고데서 고데 또 대바시는 고데를 쓰고 당 고데는 아주 죄 다는 거 들어와 죄 다는 게 너무 생기지 너무 세비차된 고데래 너무 뻔비차된 고데래와 당 아주 미신이라 죄도 대파 까니 내 미신이라 대바치니 까지치니 그바치가 연대도네 대바치만 아 대바치 우리 내가 죄대 도발 까발 이 순서다 대바시는 거디가 다다 정보야 돼.
Yeah, so having practiced properly in relation to these Guru devotions, then we have to see the faults of, then we have to realize the faults of seeing faults in our spiritual friends. So we have to understand what faults would follow if we see the faults in the spiritual friends. So having understood the faults that follows, then we develop faith and develop respect to the spiritual friends by remembering their qualities and that by remembering their kindness as well. So we develop faith by remembering their qualities, and then we develop respect by remembering their kindness. So having developed faith and respect to the spiritual friends, then we abandon such faults. We abandon such faults of seeing, we abandon such faults that follow when we see faults in the spiritual friends. So having abandoned this fault, then we free from such dirt of the fault, and then we can link it to the truth of the cessation. So truth of the cessations is the freedom from the freedom having abandoned the things that the object of abandonment is the freedom having abandoned the object of abandonment. So, in other words, if we link it to the Four Noble Truths, is the aspect of abandonment, having abandoned the afflictions.
Oh, that was a deal. That on that the Hini is another good change of the membership like that. They did some of the championship. Which we're on the Sudan was the launch, some of that was the judge who was the one to Jim with the jail. That on the do my shop at it, that on the heat, Tanji, to suit Pacha the Jeba Tanjama John. That the Shama Jibica, Sama Sued, Sama Sueding also, and that Dodola around the changing, Numu do soon, Pacha the Jeba, Sama Pat John, never said, ditch it, or ditch it. Someone originally would.
Yeah, so we have to know how to link the topic or the practice that we're going to do with the Four Noble Truths. So, and these, the way how to link it to the Four Noble Truths, and we can also apply it or link it to other practices as well. So, and this I'm going to talk about it later is Dupang Jimapang, so abandon dust and abandon stain. So this I'm going to talk about it later. And so the thing that we have to understand, or we have to keep it in our mind, is when we clean the environment, when we clean the place, then we should have the motivations is to purify or get rid of the afflictions of self and the afflictions of other sentient beings as well, together with their imprints. So together, the afflictions, three poisons and afflictions of self and other sentient beings, then together with their imprints, I'm sweeping, I'm cleaning it. So this is the motivations that we should have.
That the Shabbat is that the Mashama, Sama Subikala, Rangi, Tanchi to Supacha, the Java, Sama, but John, that do the ma, Sholama, Toade, that Rangi, Sama, the Juchi, to soon Nemo Pacha, the Java, Tanji, Poma,
yeah. So when we clean the motivations, the motivations and the visualizations when we are doing the cleaning is for the sake of eliminating the afflictions of self and all sentient beings together with their imprints. And after we've finished cleaning, then we have to cast this dirt outside, right, or throw it away. And this then we in our mind that we have to think that this is the abandonment of all afflictions together with their imprints.
Yeah, that this was a Shamaji, Nanji Shamaji, some of the Rangi, Tanchi, Digi Pacha, Samama, Johnny, Tava Mevachi, Mevachi, Ma Rangi, someone who Numuba, Numutusuji, Pacha, Digi Pacha, Samama Samasagi, years on. Never teach a grow. Watch about some of some of the 2 years and the some to stand she got the Shamaja.
Yeah. So this is how we should. This is how we should think before and while we are cleaning the floor. So it is for the sake of eliminating the afflictions together with the imprints of self and all sentient beings. And then you have these motivations at the beginning. Then while you are cleaning, and then you should have this thought in your mind as well, or these perceptions in your mind as well.
That the Miss Lang was a Yanni Chishibaina, a Shama Jibat Sichila, Susan Yanni the Jani, that on the church here, you is that and that was a China, Katana, China, so the Shama Jibaina, Naji Chagu, ngaji shubi chang shama ji so shama ji da chapi so ngaji nyembu shuji rugo da wa wo de so za ngazo namji be zama so ya shama ji ya be so so khamba duba nyale chi tsin pe sanji chanju se ba khang de ro wo de gi pa so so pa kham de so za ne so so ne ba de chi ne ma zama so ya de shama ji ka la ne so so che nyale je shi da du su yin go ro wa nani je shi na zama so ya chin je pe nyale chawo
Yeah. So if we know how to practice Dharma, then we can turn or transform our activities, our normal activities, into Dharma practice. That includes sweeping the floor, cleaning the environment, and clean our house as well. So we must know how to practice Dharma, and this sweeping the floor, cleaning, and doing prostrations. That it has a great power in reducing our pride. So it is the antidotes to reduce our pride. So if we're able to do so, then and we know how to do so, then it will become the antidotes to reduce our pride. So the place where we do practice, then we invite guests, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So our place will be filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So then it shows that we have to clean the environment, we have to sweep the place where we are doing the practice. And if we know how to practice, then we can even turn just these actions of sweeping into Dharma practice.
용의 주스지 만상바이나 예 최년에 비다보이 리고 말이요 앞에 비다보이 싸우요 예절랍 전부 싸우요 말이요 왔다 예절랍 전부다 최원의 비다보이 제고나 간디 제고나 되나 용의 주스 상황이 제고요 당어서 샤마지비 갈라 용의 주스 상황이 좋아다 니 주스가 상황이
Yeah, so then we are talking about transforming this sweeping into Dharma practice, right? So we have to make this Dharma practice complete of the beginning, the actual sessions, and the ending sessions. So we have to make this Dharma practice of sweeping complete, complete of the beginning, actual sessions, and the conclusions. So we have to make such a practice complete with these three phases. If we do not if we practice Dharma without the complete of these three phases, then the roots of virtue that we accumulate will not be a good quality one and will not be an extensive one.
대 바도 그런 되게 생조게 하마다 위시라 그런 되게 생각이 좋게 하마도와 그런 그 생조야 바도 그런 그 생조 위죠 위기라 그런 그 생조 매와서다 타마라 가와고하다 계산와야 게 하마다 다 근데 매비 토네 대 최교와지 두바이나 다 니바다 근데 니바가게 조금만 도와 근데 배치나 다 폐 춘주지 어르신은 지요로와 폐 주요를 마도
Yeah, so we have to make whatever Dharma practice that we do complete or consist of these three phases or three phases. So to have a beginning, and then to have the actual sessions, and then to have the conclusion as well. So the beginning is to have a motivation, to set motivations. And if we do not set motivations at the beginning, even if we engage in the Dharma practice, and since the Dharma practice will not be infused with the motivations, and therefore at the end there is nothing to be dedicated. There is no roots of virtue. There is no merits to be dedicated to others. So if we do a Dharma practice without the complete three phases, then even though we do accumulate a little bit of merits or benefits. However, the whole Dharma practice is not powerful Dharma practice, and we do not derive the much benefits out of it.
다 샤마 집에 가는 안서 담보 조와들의 군호를 다 조와도 군호를 다 조와 군호대 간다 샤마 집에 가다 토마 군호대 가라니 대나 쪼보단 제시를 소 마소지고 다 디상을 봐야 뭐 수수께 대사의 쪼보단 제시 등이 치도 상황 마당 바치 덴딩 아랑베 내가 시도 제바데 다 라리 peñane 지게나 라리지 초시 서베 젠제 발라다 안다 젠제 바치를 때라 대바다 지비도 대바다 이상하지 아 마게 신체 탄지 된다 상지지 공부터 대체도 로아 새로 안게 신체 탄지지 너무 받아 시지기 집바 참아마 이 다비체도 너무다 시지기 집바 강가다 다비체도 리체를 상다 그런지다 아 체바도 로아 간지 당선 마다비 내지 지 강가다 파 장네 로아 그러니까 마다비 내지도 파 장어디 그래서서라니 상지야게 롱고다 주구지 힘이서 체바지 주바도 리체 이사 롱고다 아니 상지야게 힘 로아 힘 체바지다 롱고 힘도 주구지 힘서로 와오힘 롱고지다 주구지 힘 체바지 주바 리체도 빼빼서서 샤마지고 요상 이 구노 되고 맞죠 나도 속에 구노 야부 시다래 와 이 상황도 봐이나
네, 가자yan 지마다 에디티 가자 롱고기 신당 쪼고기 신데 케바도
네 롱고다 쪼고기 신이야 지야게 다 들리기 야 두바냐는 지야 어디를 지야 치리 이상
롱고기 신당 쪼고기 신세 대 아닌가
다 거기 간다
상신세 대
다비시 롱고기 다비시 쪼고기 다비시
so so these actions of sweeping, then the beginning is to set the motivations, and the motivations we shouldn't have is to make just for oneself's comfort or just to impress others. So this is not the right motivations that we should have. Like for example, if we are going to do a Lamrim practice, then we will invite the merit field, right? Then we have to visualize, then we have to invite the merit field to where we are. Then in order to show respect to the merit field, the guests in the merit field, and in order to show faith to the guests of the merit field, then we clean the environment. So this is the motivations that we should have. And besides that, and in order to purify the afflictions of all sentient beings, and in order to purify the obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings that include oneself. So this is another motivations that we should have, and in particular, having purified the containers and the inhabitants. In order to purify the unclean containers and inhabitants, and in order to born in a pure land of emanations body or the enjoyment body, then we clean or we purify the unclean or the contaminated container and inhabitants. So, and this is another motivations that we could have.
당연시들아 샤마 빠따마솔에 다 샤마데 다메토 비시로 니상바 니시들와 다 그노도 고자 당연시라 샤마데 다메토 비시로도 상상하네 다 개니 저봐 신지 탄지랑게 신지 탄지 지지 뒤지 바차도 좀 창상 이상 근데 니시가와 당연시가라 샤마 집에가라 샤마데 다메토 비시로게 다 랑게 신지 탄지 뒤지 바차도 좀 참마 개니 저다 상상하네 개니 저 이상 내가지 아마 상상해
다메토 비시로로
다메토 비시로게 나도 알게 신게 탄지지 괜히 이동 바쳤지만 참아만 참아서서 다 뮤지컬 스티스와
Yeah. So the beginning of the sweeping, then we set up good motivations, right? And then when we are in the actual sessions or when we are actually cleaning, then the broom that we hold in our hands, then we think we perceive it as the wisdom realizing emptiness. and the dirt or rubbish that I'm sweeping is the obscurations, the two types of obscurations of all sentient beings together with their imprints that now I'm sweeping. So while we are sweeping the floor, then the broom is the broom of wisdom of realizing emptiness, and the dirt is the dirt of obscurations together with our imprints. So when we are sweeping, the sweeping alone, then our three doors can engage in the roots of virtue. So how is physically we are sweeping the floor, and then in our mouth can recite dupang timapang. So dupang is abandoned dirt, and timapang is abandoned stain, which I'm going to talk about it later, the meaning of it. And our mind is thinking that the broom is the wisdom realizing emptiness, then sweeping or eliminating the afflictions and obscurations together with the imprints of all sentient beings. So in our mind, we think in this way. Then, so when we do like this, then our three doors are engaging in accumulating merits and purifying our negativities. Yeah. So the meaning of dupang and timapang is abandoned dirt, and this dirt refers to afflictive obscurations, and tima means stain, and this stain refers to obscurations to omniscience. So is the two types of obscurations in the mind stream for all sentient beings. So if we abandon these two types of obscurations, then we achieve the state of enlightenment. So when we clean the floor, when we sweep, then in our mind, then we should have this thought that I'm cleaning or I'm eliminating two types of obscurations of in the mind stream of all sentient beings. So if we think in this way, and then when we sweep the floor, and then we recite these phrases, abandoned dirt, abandoned stain, then our three doors accumulate extensive merits and greatly purify our obscurations as well. Yeah, so three doors accumulating or engaging in the roots of virtue, physically sweeping the floor, verbally reciting the phrases, abandoned dirt, abandoned stain, and mentally thinking that I'm sweeping or eliminating two types of obscurations together with the imprints in the mind stream for all sentient beings. So doing in this way, it constitutes the actual sessions of the sweeping action.
다 죄 통제다 받다시 대화지 신앙시 대화지 신 답이시와 대화지 신앙시 조성사 다 수도 가와다 다 랑이 신지 탕지지 레레미 디지 파샤지와 탕지 파 제시 디지 파샤지와 참마파 제시 다 상랑지 또바 탕지 지송사 답에 수도就是뉴라도 상당으로
디지 파자당
디지 파타니 상랑게 양도 또바 강가 지래 랑게 신지 탕지지라 또바 강가 지송사
상하게 또바
상랑지 또바
사람기 또바
서바 아스도 또바 와 상랑지 또바 지라 지송사 된지 메바치 와 가고 다들 지송사 가고 유도 와 아무도 싫어.
So the conclusion or the ending phase is so then then after we clean the environments, then we visualize that this place is free of dirt, and then like a sukhavati, like a pure land, and whatever obscurations. Whatever obscurations together with their imprints are in the mind stream of all sentient beings are totally purified, and the realizations of the ground and path are developed in the mind stream of all sentient beings. So we have this, we think in this way, or we visualize in this way, then we generate delight or rejoice.
상황이 양도 단지 제가 맞에 다시 고도 시바나시 농구다 죽기 신체바지 다 농구기 신다 죽기 신체바지 루비 신루비 와차 체바지 샤스냥도 다스도 가고 와 와차 체바지 농구기 신다 죽기 신체바지 루비 다스도 될 지야게 될 지신 농구기 신의 지야 죽기 신의 지야게 와차 체바지 샤도 내가 수도 될 가고 와 농구다 죽기 체바지 농구 신다 죽기 신체바지 루비 다 와차 체바지 샤스상 되들이 가고
Besides, we delight. Besides, we rejoice in ourselves that we have abandoned the obscurations and the imprints in the mind stream of all sentient beings, and we develop the mind and path. The ground and path in the mind stream of all sentient beings as well. So besides that, then we also generate or rejoice in ourselves that we have left a special imprints through which will specifically accomplish the pure land of emanation body and the pure land of enjoyment body. So what it means is we left the special imprints to be born in those pure lands, the pure lands of emanation body and the pure lands of enjoyment body. So having left such imprints in our mind stream, then we also feel rejoice.
joya bo so bagina nishi ya bo chagore nishi ya bo ina ta geza ngwa ya re ro joya ya bo mena joya kumo ya bo mena a nishi ya mare nishi ya bo mecha de te ngwa ya geza ko ya mare ro ta geza ya bo ngwa ya gawa ko ni pe jeshi ran je ya jo pe pe yin sin je 20 30 kuma to ya de che ya ta ngwa ya je ya de ro o da te dishi che ba yin juma ina ta jongwe ju so so da ta shama ji be kala ta jongwe ju so sai to ne ta geza lap che mo sa sa.
So if we sweep the floor with these three complete phases, then we will accumulate extensive merits. So the three phases, the first one beginning is setting good motivations, and the actual sessions is the actions of sweeping, infused with the motivations that we set at the beginning, and at the end, then we rejoice in ourselves, and we rejoice in ourselves the merits that we have accumulated. Then we dedicate it to others, to other sentient beings. So if we do not engage in any activities with these complete with these three phases, then at the beginning we do not set a good motivations. Then since the actual sessions, the action itself is not infused with the motivations, then at the end there is nothing to be rejoiced. There's nothing to be rejoiced, and since we do not accumulate we do not accumulate roots of virtue out of the actions that we do, there is nothing to be dedicated to others as well. So we must do the activities or do the practice or whatever actions with the complete three phases. With these, then we accumulate extensive merits, and then we have merits or substance to be dedicated to others. And at the end, then we can do dedications is maybe as I dedicated for all sentient beings to achieve the state of enlightenment. Because regarding this cleaning the environment, then there is the story of Arya Judapandaka, or the Arya Small Road. So this story, probably those seniors have heard it or have heard it several times already. So however, for the sake of those who never heard of it, then I'm going to tell you this story of Arya Judapandaka Small Road. So because he was the one who, because he relied on cleaning or sweeping itself and achieved the state of arhat. Yes, so there's the story of Arya Judapandaka. By relying on cleaning, then you achieve the state of arhat. So the story goes like this. So in Sarvasti, so there was Brahmin couples. So whenever they gave birth to a baby, and the baby would die at birth. So, and then in the neighborhood, so there stay an old lady. And then he told this Brahmin couple that next time when you give birth to a baby again, so please call me. Then, and this Brahmin couple again gave birth to a baby. So then they follow the words of the old lady, and they call forth the old lady, and the old lady took this old lady then clean the baby, and then wrap the baby in a white cloth and fill its mouth with butter, and then this old lady passed the baby to another lady. So, and ask this lady, so go to junctions where where big roads meet, and then whenever Brahmin or the ordained person pass by, then you say, this baby pay homage at your feet. So you show respect to those ordained persons and the Brahmin.
제자다 부모들이 지원의 바바다게 샤라 창사로세 두스 조쇼세 다 부모들이 내가 조고요 내가 조쇼스 내가 좀에 그셔제스 다 그셔제네 백하나 니마 누구나 다 선보 차는 데 야체쇼스 내가 선보 장문데 동선하다 나와야 가만 나와야 가만 인세 두스 라바레스고 얘들이 다 간다로와 예 마음가서 더 되지
Yeah. So and then this old lady asked another lady to carry this baby and then go to the junctions where the big roads meet. And then wherever this ordained person of Brahmin pass by, then pay respect by saying, "This baby, pay homage at your feet." Then and this lady followed the words of the old lady, and then she did so. So then the old lady also said, and if when sunset, at sunset, and if this baby is still alive, then bring home. So if not, then don't.
다 랑가들 손이 내가다 다 부모들 정보 줘래 다 게모 아마티 가를 너가 대가 나시 바바달라 차자로 구셔지리 다 담보 랑가들 뭐디바 마모 페레스로 뭐디바 마모 지레오디 다 뭐디바 레오디 다 대가로 구셔지리 다 뭐디바 속을 만남지리 그거도 세림바 용화쇼 파마니지 이라 삼바 가리나테 누바쇼 스님만am 제바레서 모티버스 다 된사 대지라 게룸 라주 마모지 페레 다 뜻소라 간다 뜻이 비숍치네 시디 조 아바타게 켈라 찬자로 조니 다 라주디소 대가 앞에 로와 다 만남 제바레서 로와 만남 제바레스 다 만남 제바레 간다로와
So this lady is very, she is very attentive. So she follows the words of the old lady and carry the baby to the junctions where the big roads cross or meet. And then, since it is a big road, so many people will pass. Many people pass by. So there came titikas. So they came titikas, and then the lady saw the titikas and pay homage to those titikas and said, "This baby pay homage at your feet," and in return, these titikas say that may this baby live long and may their parents' wishes be fulfilled. And then again those ordained person passed by, and then this lady also did the same. So this baby pay her homage at your feet, and then those ordained persons, they also return by saying the prayers. So may this baby live long and may their parents' wishes be fulfilled.
다 게룸 라준 수가 도스 맨랑 제바로와 다 디젤라 간다 산지 제지서가 산지 존데데 배우고 세는 거 디시도와 다 산지 배우데 산지라 대와 구샵치네 디지 다 산지가 파마니지 치다니 일라 삼바 요스서 바쇼세 다 산지가 대가로 맨랑 넘버로와 다 나오데 다 간다 다 보고도 니만 능로데 다 삼보 차데 다 나노야 치우고와 다 나는 부모디야 치레오디 다 보고들라 미 랑보치 송와선다 랑체 파시 니다와 랑체바 다 빈자 게임 받으래 다들와 opinion 빈자 게임 받으래와 랑보치에서 니다와 예스고 다고 다 마시니야 나라야 콘다고 선보 되어.
And then when Buddha Shakyamuni went for the alms round, and this lady also met Buddha Shakyamuni, and then has a pay homage as before. So this baby pay homage at your feet to Buddha Shakyamuni, said to Buddha Shakyamuni. And then Buddha Shakyamuni also returned the prayers by saying that may this baby live long, and then may their parents' dharma wishes be completely fulfilled. And then at sunset, then this lady saw that this baby is still alive, so she brought the baby home. And since the baby was brought to Big Road, then this baby was given the name Big Road or Mahapantaka.
다간다데 부구디야 차로와 다이 앉아지를 부구지 제와 예지고 다 정지들라 다 제우디 다이 앉아 교모데야 아마 교모데 계당바 다 계당디야 아마 교모디 부모지 계당네 부모들아 체승잖아 근데 랑보체 두신전에야 매랑 다가 제쇼 쓰네 간다 이마 라바 노시 투스 라바레스 다리 부모데 삐띠 레로체네 고 랑보체를 만도바 랑지 춘추지 인디지를 니는 그런 다 되네 되와 그와 람보치라 만들어지 다들이 데이터 미스틱 간지 리고 말 다시 간지 멀리데 다 상지 존데 데이데 미지 뒤주도 딱 하는 거라 투지원 시도 거라 뒤주로 따봐 다 람보치들 란티들 수치 만들데 다 상지 존데 데기 체 상지 존데 데 페바 다 간다 다 상지 존데 데 페리 다 상지 존데 데라 데 때가 뭐 나시면 쉬바 다 상지 존데 데기 나람 데 나시 제바레서 다 간다 파마탄 때 이라 선바 나시 두바 쇼스 다 간다 투스 만남 제바레 다 부부도 간다 야 셈보 차와레서 그러와 그 셈보 토니 그 간다 거의 나리아 치는 다 부부들 민랑 제바스 다 파바 나주 데게 와 랑제바스 미다 와레서
Yeah, so that was the first son to the couple, born to the couple. And then again, this Brahmin couple gave birth to another baby, so the second son. And the couple did the same, called forth the old lady. And the old lady did exactly the same, and then called another lady to carry this baby to carry out her task. And this time they assigned this task to a lazy lady. So this lady, instead of bringing the baby to the big road, and instead she brought the baby to the small road where no one is going to pass by. So Buddhas, they always see sentient beings with his great compassion and knew that no one is going to pass by that road. So Buddha Shakyamuni purposely went to that road. And the lazy lady saw the coming of Buddha Shakyamuni, and then she paid homage to Buddha Shakyamuni by saying, this baby paying homage at your feet of you noble ones. And then Buddha also returned by saying the prayers exactly same as before. So may this baby live long, and may his parents' dharma wishes be completely fulfilled. And at sunset, this baby was still alive, and this lazy lady brought the baby home, and then was given the name Small Road. So in English is Small Road, and in Sanskrit is Juda Pandaka.
다 콜로 미랑제 바다들와 다 간다 디 파바 랑주 바다들와 다 티티지야 첨부 차들이 다 아마디스 간다 이길로 바탕거다 로빈지라와 로베진 니라 간다 이길로 시스 다리 다 로빈들이 이길로네 다 맞서 리지 이게 담보를 신다스지 토마티 로얄로 지레노와 토마로디 신다 지오리 다콘 신다스는 철로시마 신슬로디 당로야데 temba지고 단solodi 신세와데 시세와데 temba지고 앞에 리파토고 쉬우잖고 신다를 철로 두고 말 같이 로저 로두고 말이 될 호베디게 다 장실 팔로네 다가 부신다 mam보를 일로고에스 다 코로 일로 투사 마리스 다 저런 거 리로기 신다지라 두슬로 지로 지에스네 다과 장실 파치제 일로 두요 말.
So this small road is then later become the main figure in our story, which is the Ayah Juda Pandaka. So before he became the Ayah Juda Pandaka, so when this second baby was grown up, then these Brahmin couples or parents then bring this baby to a school and then ask teachers to teach him syllables and then to teach him those knowledge, those Vedic knowledge. So, and the teachers was at the beginning, then the teacher taught this small road, siddham. So the word this Juda Pandaka has to learn. So the word siddham. So when the teacher taught these two words or two syllables to the Juda Pandaka small road, and then when Juda Pandaka learned the first word si, and then he forgot the second word tam, and when he learned the second word tam, then he forgot the first word si. So this shows how his intelligence was very dull, and then this teacher was upset that I have many other students to teach, and I have no time, and I couldn't teach this second son of yours. So Juda Pandaka, and asked this Brahmin couple to bring this baby to other teacher.
야 로비 신다지를 넣으시다. 다 간다. 다 로비 신다지 야 토마 옹버 실로. 옹버 로디. 다 이게 토마로야 된도 리실로. 다 옹슬로디 야 버지. 벌로디 야 옹 제버지. 다 줄을 두고 말와. 다 줄을 수마디 다 허베디야 베심바체 다 주지포 란체보다 비스 다 코노 인자 gem바들와 딜라테나 다시브레스 다니 콜로 투서 마리스 코페 ombo신도 부하다 초도 부하 에 슈르 투고 슈르레샤스 당이 자원로 투서 마리스 양고바 지제야.
So this Juta Pantaka then was assigned to another, was sent to another teachers, and this second teacher taught him Ombu, so that the syllables that he has to learn. And again, this Juta Pantaka learned the first word Om, then he forgot the second word Bu, and when he learned the second word Bu, then he forgot the first word So he couldn't remember any syllables in his mind. So then the second teachers also got upset and then said to Juta Pandaka that you probably have, I'll say, probably it will be good to rely on your big brother, the big road, Mahapandaka. Probably you will learn under his guidance. Then again, and this second teacher told Juda Pandaka that you are slow, very slow, small, very small. So again, send him to others.
Thus, 미소 다 코페 하장베 원부 조보 리버도 초도 보아 초도 초아 이비잖아. 다 미랑 주바세 다 미다 두샤데. 베 원부베 뜨보 리버도 쇼도 초도 초아 신도 초아세 든디기 차네 간다 미랑 주바다 예스 다 간다 바발랑 주세.
Yeah. So because of these comments on him that slow, very slow, small, very small, then he was given the nickname Small Road.
다 되게 제 다간다 랑주 어서 로 어서 로사 다 뒤시 어서 로사리 다 간다지라 하나님께 파마니 니요마다 동사와 파마니 중들이 파마니 중이가라 다 간다 랑치바 간다 템벌에 쉬게 간다 다 간다 데니 소나페 제 장에 끝다죠 고바토바 예서 파마 그렇게 게바 랑치바
파바샤바로 하시죠.
파바다죠 다죠 고바토바
So then this
하데 랑주 하데 랑치바 로사리스 간다 로사리스 다 콘도르페 도바마스페 곰발도네 간다페 로조치레 다죠 고바토사리스.
Yeah. And then this Chitta Pandaka was, after the comments, then he became famous for his name, Small Road. So these parents of Mahata Pandaka and Chitta Pandaka then later passed away. Then this Chitta Pandaka was staying at home and used up all his inheritance already. So at the same time, his brother Mahapandaka, so went ordained and then went to study the Buddha's teachings, and then this Mahapandaka already achieved arhatship, so he became an arhat already.
다 랑주 나나 샤제니 다 나나페 다 사야 토나 창조 도는 거다 다 벤조 체칸지 민지 차는데 다고 주죠 제라 빈제 gem바게 다 제라 넣으시고 다고 마로 한도 러시아다 다 든디지 엔도 조바조서 도네 데 빈제 절레 데 빈제 gem바 랑치바게 다 코나페 나오게 니가 근조바가 조사니 다 코라 취지에 깨와 여러메 따지 지고래 간다 랑치바 다 저거 따지 지오니 다 취지에 그냥 라도 쇼나 까와 여봐 그 깨와 여봐 지 간다 투라 샤고래 이 지오리 다 컨디션스 코라도 쇼나 지금 누구상 다 랑치바기 공바레스 다 대고네 대고라 까바리 여르데이나 취지에 까와 누디이나 코로나 하나라래 누구사 디 간다
So Chitta Pandaka used up all his inheritance, family wealth and inheritance. Then he has no choice but to but to go meet his Mahapandaka, his brother, for help. So, and this Mahapandaka already became arhat already, studying Buddha's teachings, and then then this Chitta Pandaka met with Mahapandaka, and this Mahapandaka wanted to check whether his brother Chitta Pandaka has the potential to study Dharma or not. So having checked, and he realized that his younger brother also has the potential to study Dharma, and these potentials has to rely on him, his elder brother Mahapandaka.
다들 저 취취 그거 요도 다 간다 딜러 버려서 다 상직 소리 이거 이제 디바 메자 히세와도 지지지 쇼로가 지지지 다데 같이 로지나 다 출로야 요마 다 간다 다 출로야면 이 잘을 되니 앞에 양이 미신다 그거 거기 미신다 그거 다 튀네 예 다들 넣고 다 랑주벌이 출로야 요마 다 깔리 슈제사리서
So then these Mahabharata ordained Chudapandaka and then start to taught the Buddha's teachings to Chudapandaka. So the first teachings is one verse, and the verse start with body, speech, and mind do not commit sin. And so Mahabharata taught this verse to Chudapandaka, and he took a long time to teach Chudapandaka. However, Chudapandaka couldn't learn it. So even those who stay nearby, so because of repeated teachings, so sitting nearby also learn the teachings by heart already. Yet Chudapandaka couldn't learn it.
다데 로마트리 다 출베 탄체오데다 랑체바 인제게바 되게 다 코로나페나 야 떠라타네 야오나 마메라타나 다 간다 신도 투요나 하시다 지지바 갈라 다 메라탄 바이나 다 신지도 투야게 데 보바 예시고 아데 보디 데 투라 초데 다 코로나게 데 라나게 라바 디니 소니 다 저런 주스 자리차지 실로마 다 범박 실로마 뜨니와 실로마 뜨 다처럼 주스 저렇게 부와 초도 보아 배워뭐 부와 초도 보아 하자베 조금 쉬어지래서 다저 가르치는 라도 종구래 했으니 라도 좀 디디는 가르치고 해서 다 삐더러 해서 뭐
So this Mahabharata also got upset with his younger brother Chudapandaka. So and then this Mahabharata checked, how do I tame his mind? So should I use the means of praise, or should I use the means of abuse or criticize? Then having checked, then Mahabharata realized that by using the means of criticizing, then you will be able to tame his mind. So then Mahabharata caught Chudapandaka by his collar, and then brought him out of the monastery and say that just leave, don't stay here. Why you? I mean, you slow, very slow. Small, very small, such a dull intelligence. So why do you become ordained persons? Why do you stay here? So don't just stay there. So Mahabharata chased Chudapandaka out of the place or the monastery.
다 traditional 맞대 자리 다 비차서데 랑추당 문이 되자고 다 랑가가라와 다 문이 되게 다 상지 존디니 되 배우야 상지 존디니 배우디 다 처음 가르치는 무의였으네 너희 땅 앞에 땅아 계존은 계존 많이 장세 많이 봐. 다 간다. 강인 뒤에 나 차사를 땅 앞에 근데 두자 차사를 예 산지기 때 네배 캠보 나 비리들이 나 메라톤 디스체버에서 그 존재들이 키피기 메라톤 앞에 초도 집어시고 그래서 야보래서 키피기 메라톤 많이 내려와 다 시바기 배에 따라 담아야 돼 대다 초도 집어 누구요 말이스 그러와 키피기 메라톤 야보래 세 두스톤 말에서 산지
So then Chudapandaka was very sad, and then he cried. And then Buddha Shikhamuni went there and asked Chudapandaka, "Why are you crying?" Then Chudapandaka replied, "I'm being chased out by my master. I'm being chased out by my master. So now I'm not an ordained person anymore. I'm not a Brahmin anymore. So I'm just no one, and I'm caught in this wretched situation." Then my abbot, so my abbot is his brother, Mahabharata. So my Mahabharata chased me out and then criticized me, and then he said this to Buddha Shakyamuni, and then Buddha Shakyamuni said to him that it's better to be criticized by it's better to be criticized by the intelligent one than to be praised by the childish.
That is only that's on the corona bed. That you know the Ichibi Hishin to Solo to reverse it. Sanji is somebody else. Hishin to Solo to reverse it. 소리 다 상지 됐는데 나 가로 두게 스페가 리퍼 하장 그 다는 힘도 보아 중앙 힘도 중앙 때 공부 줘보지 나 가로 두게서 상지를 시발해서 다 상지 그런 면에 시발이야 뭐래서 그런 주는 마시바다 와 이미 나자매 봐 시비들도 야보래서 상지 공부해서
Yeah, so then Buddha Shakyamuni asked Jita Pandaka, do you think could you learn the Sutra of Perfection Wisdom Sutra, Perfection of Wisdom Sutra? So Buddha Shakyamuni asked Jita Pandaka, and Jita Pandaka replied, how could I learn Perfection of Wisdom Sutra? So because I'm slow, very slow, I'm small, very small. And then Buddha Shakyamuni know how humble Jita Pandaka is, because a childish person knows that a childish person realize that he himself are not a learned person. So because of this fact, then Buddha Shakyamuni know that this Jita Pandaka is do not have pride.
다 들러도 다 상지가 다 코로나 때 로도 메디세 로데 다 상지 코로나 치지 다 도파 정말 방어서 이 상지 손으로와 다 들러 버렸어 다 들러도 시디 천에 손두고 말 천에 손말이 다 상지기 투라 보내 다 코로나 레디 장고도 산 레디 마냥 디고 문지 투라 본 말했어 다 람보 치고 게롱도 손으로 안고도 시시당 통에 자마 소투고 위해서 다 때때 소투고 위해서 남인의 소투고 위해서 나와서 왔다 이때 자마 소시가다 다 간다 디 게롱 참마다 게롱 나지 왔다 코로나에 가르스나 레디 장에서 연구사 게롱도 저기다 신고를 더 주면서 상당한 거와 레디오 상도 상당한 거. 이 코로나 때 자마 보다 수고 다때 소디 소이가 다 간다 치니 간디 현다 딜는 거야. 더 정말 치념도 조지 다 풀어게 제대 제히 달로시노 히트 자마 수고를 다 거.
So then Buddha Shakyamuni gave teachings to Jita Pandaka. So was this line, Tupang Chimapang, abandon dirt, abandon stain. So even though Buddha Shakyamuni taught these two lines to Jita Pandaka still couldn't learn it. So then Buddha Shakyamuni checked how could he learn these two words. And then Buddha Shakyamuni thought that Jita Pandaka needed to purify his karmic obscurations. So in order to purify his karmic obscurations, then Buddha Shakyamuni asked Jita Pandaka, so could you clean the shoes of the ordained persons? And then Jita Pandaka answered that, I can clean their shoes. So then the other monks, they also knew that Jita Pandaka cleaning their shoes is for the sake of eliminating his own karmic obscurations. So other monks, when Jita Pandaka was cleaning their shoes, and other monks, they will recite these two lines as well: abandon dirt, abandon stain. So then, while other monks are repeating the same lines, then this Jita Pandaka also trying to follow them by saying the same lines.
다 간다 왔다 간사질에 다 도바 정말 받을 럽투고 다 간다 다 로먹이 받아 보나게 된투고요 람주 보나게 다 도바 정말 만들투고 다 된투고 다 된바게 왔다 고 어디 중셔산에 다 저는 내 한국 시모고 있다 저는 산지게 줄라카 다 줄라카 샤마지 다 한국 시모고 줄라카 샤마지 시가 다 도바 정말 받는다 쇼스 저는 된 시대 다 줄라카 사마서 쇼스 예 줄라카 사마서 쇼스 다 줄라카 사마서 다 예나마 간다 더 샤마마 jel이야 예네 샤마 되야 칸 야 예네마 샤마 jel이 예네야 칸 근데 같이 주바이다 다 배서 텔레페다 그러네 디파타 그런 하코네 디파타 보니 하코네 다 데미 수마나 히치데 또 주마바 시바 내가 간다 도스치네 깔레체네 무슨 제발 해서.
So with his great effort, so finally he learned these two lines: abandon dirt and abandon stain. So without others teach him, without needing others to teach him anymore. So Buddha Shakyamuni knew it, and then asked Jita Pandaka and say to Jita Pandaka, so now you no need to clean their shoes anymore. So now you recite these 2 lines that you learn, and then go and sweep the floor of monastery. So and then Judah Pantaka also follow the advice, follow the words of Buddha Shakyamuni. Then he start to sweep the floor of around in the monastery. So when Judah Pantaka was sweeping the left side of the monastery, then the right side of the monastery is filled dust. So when Judah Pantaka finished cleaning the left side, then and go and clean the right side, then the left side then again will be filled with the dirt again. So however, Judah Pantaka knew that he needs to purify his negativities and obscurations. Therefore, with great effort, then Judah Pantaka continuously to clean the floor of the monastery together with the recitations of these 2 lines.
That's it, Tanda, Sen, that Tanda show, that lady Tibatani. That lady done all that dupont master was a duty, a Kanda, she dina, Nangu dina, she dina, is that the 2 sanction, some Tanda 2 sanction, or the lip Tanda and go see.
So then, so he continued to put effort in this sweeping with the 2 lines recitations. So not only these 2 lines stay in his mind, and then his obscurations was purified as well. Then at once, then this thought popped up in his mind that what does this dirt refers to?
That didn't the Chanamu do so. I knew to soon by Dick Tangala Pata, the Pontamapa, Big Tanda, some called the Chisa. I called the Chin Canada, a Dutch of Kumatova, Roa, a Dutch of Kumatova, yes.
So these questions pop up in his mind. So this dirt, does it refer to the external dirt or does it refer to the internal dirt? And he understood that the word dirt refers to the internal dirt. So the internal dirt means the 3 poisons of afflictions, 3 poisons of afflictions. So by having understood or realized the meaning of these lines, then he achieved the state of arhat.
Tanda to the show, the Tangoma, Cici, logic, so some of machine got there. Chana, Shana Chain, Tanda Samape, Tula Chain, Roa. That Tula Chain, Kangape, Joe, Tekanda, or that this was the Sadumai, and their chabito, Sadumai, Shedan would do, Sadumai, Tumu to start this some other. Jada, we need to attend the Jada, and you move to Suna Jabia. Roa, that is up the Tula Chain, the Dutch in Kumatova, yes.
So then he understood that this dirt refers to the internal dirt, and then he understood that internal dirt also means those afflictions, the 3 poisons of afflictions. So having understood the meaning of these lines, then those verse or those teachings that he couldn't learn before, and then those words just appeared in his mind, and then he also understood the meaning of those verse and the teachings as well. So he understood that this dirt is not the earth dust, and this dirt is the dirt of attachment. This dirt is the dirt of anger. This dirt is the dirt of ignorance. So having understood these meanings, and he achieved the state of arhat.
That is what that job combat to the Sanji John in the that that long to the Dutch combat to that Konak by unity. That you need in me, Kilama, Diada, and the Kanda, shooting and Lichido. That Bunga, Chana, Lambal learning, Genuma, Chidega, Fish, whose loves, Pavala to the shoes, that Bunga, Tony, Pavala, Lamchula to the Genumala, Chidega, Roguesi. The Lamchu Lasso State and that Gagatu, that timber in Aran, you did the Java, and use a to the chain of his. They begin to Java. 람추 다 윤데 잡아 투는 지네 거나 레스워스 시네 간다 켈레 버리세요.
Yeah, so Buddha Shakyamuni knew Chittapandaka become an arhat already. So then he told, Buddha Shakyamuni told Ananda, so now go and tell the villagers that the quality of Chittapandaka. So having announced the qualities of Chittapandaka, and then go and tell Chittapandaka that you're going to give teachings to give teachings to the non-assembly. Then then Chittapandaka knew that his qualities was already announced, and then and Ananda also told Chittapandaka that Buddha Shakyamuni asked you to teach, go and give teachings to the non-assembly, and then Chittapandaka also promised or accept accept the words of Buddha Shakyamuni.
다 되는가 다 기능 만나나 트랜스 템바드 배 람바리에서 다 코나 기능 마트슬마 또 손으로와 다 손으로 다 저도 치대가 또 람바리에서 에비셀라고 다 기능 마트서 배 저랑 기능 마트서 코나서 배 로진인데 야고 쉬고 이제 되죠 야고 이제 다 코나서 배 상관에 다 가서 배 투지 쉬고 가서 니치 메리라 니바 쉬지 제시해서 니치 쉬고 당시서 다와서도 지지지 말로 지나서 기능 Dennis Mbappe, Mad Solape, Cochesha, Halene, and also pay Cheton that Zero Zawani Meba, that be Niji Shudi, a Gelumat to Nishi Gomba years ago.
And then Ananda was sent to tell the non-assembly that your Chittapandaka is going to give teachings to you all. So in general, those nuns, they were very knowledgeable. So and they think that, I mean, how could this Chittapandaka was sent here to give us teachings? Because he couldn't even learn a verse in 3 months. So I'll say we female, so definitely I'll say being discriminated.
That you know much of it, Koran Nandu Jugachini. That answer the Dawson Chiki Suma to the Dishing answer Pina, Chitinga Tangware. That Mopa Shichi and Nato Gelu Magu Dilate, the Dikanda, Kepa Nunuta, Kepa Mejo, Sawani Yumapia so good was the church of Aresewa. That the Kepa knew the Yumapia so good in the third conduct Gelu Mats of the Kashi shooter, tradition shooting Tomo, Tandija, Kenza Chiliman, Tandija, Kashi tradition and Pelumba Casakalapa, and also Geluma, Nalape cheating a lambo, Timber Dennis, a Kepa Shibuji Pevius. That's one of the chain got shows. Demba Montana, some using book while trying to Demba plan at the Nicky Chet. Some page send that Dutch which was Takana Giruman. That Dutch yet, when it's in Karsna, that was a beer. That Papa Lanchu, the Danu Chin Mahiri, Kunji Zini. That cook was up in the Gemma, saw on the Tama Piers at the Niche. That the little that mean Buta Mambo, the Zomba, so Kashin, the way it's a chip, she came. Kashin the Tachi. Kashin Temotaka. What that the Mambuji level, yes,
so having felt looked down, so those nuns they they discussed themselves and then came up with the ideas that they have to stop not so knowledgeable teachers from coming to the nunnery to give them teachings or to teach them teachings to give them teachings. Otherwise their knowledge will be degenerated. So if not so knowledgeable teachers come again, so they have to prevent this from happening again. So then they came up with the ideas. So some of them, then they purposely make the Dharma throne very high, and then without the attached staircase, without providing the staircase. And another group, then few nuns, and then they went to tell the villagers that Chittapandaka is coming to he's coming to nunneries and then to give us teachings. So he announced to many people that if you should come and receive the teachings. Otherwise, then you will have to circle in samsara for a long time. So if you haven't seen the truth, then you will circle in samsaras for a long time. So come and receive the teachings, then you'll be able to see the truths. So having announced to the villages, so hundreds of thousands of people and then came to the teaching site. So some of them, they came to receive teachings from this Judapantaka teacher, and then some just to came for a show, so to see to see how this is going to how this was going to happen.
That is the Kanda Gilumala Chideva February Pingin number Sha, Kunoya Bujichi, that the Jenitaka Giluma Chit is a period. Upper period Chitombo Shu, Jayada, that Chitombo Shu, Jedi, that Chicken Duna Pound, that Chitombo Tombo Jedi, Jeba Jil, Tangan around Deva Chili, Chili Jenda, when it told somebody as a Jeba Jedi, that Deva on in the rear, Chitombo Jet, that told somebody this. And then the Chawar Kanda, Jebaches and Jua, or that the Ligi, Jeba Tula Shani, or that Deva in the thought somebody in the routine, that gains up in the Mijorita, Chala, Zutinita, Labadima, Pachani, they Kanda, Chidima Nini, that Kanda, Zutin, Kanda, sing number Shajino, Chogilia, Chitila, Chogila, Zinshit in Yapan, the Chitina Marshu is one. That Kaji in Tone. Junjutia and Pali, and for the Kaji Tungo Maris in Roa. Kaji to Toma, that is late Tangi and do Tungo, Le Madame Tungo Roa. Or that is a Chitica Marshini. That's Simota, I said, that is Simos and Pinjala Ora. That Pinja so, that might be the also the CGT, so it can that it done in the city, but Chi is to somebody else.
So then Judapantaka went to the teaching site. So when he approached the teaching throne, then he realized the throne was made very high and without the staircase. Then he checked then he asked himself, so is this the teaching throne made so high? Is it because of they have faith in me, or they are actually challenging me? So then Judapantaka entered into meditations and entered into meditations to check which one was it. Then Judapantaka realized that it was out of challenging mind, so out of wanting to challenge him. So then Judapantaka start to perform miracles. So he stretched his arms very long, like an elephant trunk, and then pressed the teaching throne down, and then he sit on it. And having sat on it, then he performed a miracle emanations as well, and then sit on the teaching throne. So some of the audience, then due to their pure karma, then they're able to see Judapantaka was performing miracle emanations, and some without the pure karma, they couldn't see anything.
Toba Katini, Kasi Ranja Dachim Combato, Kashi Jinji, then that and then Ribishi Toba to the best. I'm trying to trim over that lake Demba Tonga, but the big church Deudi. That's how much Genuma Repayon, but they were Shibuchi, the Kanda race.
Then Judapantaka said to the audience, so siblings, so I'm going to teach you the verse that I took months to learn, and then I'm going to explain it in the coming 7 days. So having gave such teachings to the audience, so just half of the verse, having explained half of the verse, then there are many in the audience already achieved has developed qualities in their mind, having developed realizations in their mind, and then many developed faith in three jewels, and then those nuns also developed a strong faith in Judapantaka as well.
That
So and then Buddha Shakyamuni also prophesied that Judapantaka is the most skillful one in transforming the minds of sentient beings among my disciples.
Jaji said, picking out our Tulaka, Shamaja, Tabali, Resort, Chindam, season. But the crop at Pedro Chambo, Chimujua, or that the Lily that Tabari, Nichi, Mahonepa, Chinda Maho, the Sanji Cronpe, at Samaji, at Samaswe, at the Niluji, Resort. That is a sure, some of that.
Yeah, so having heard this story, so we shouldn't look down at this simple routine activity of sweeping the floor. So because if we know how to transform it, then we can also achieve the state of our heart as well, develop realization in our mind stream as well by sweeping alone. So even Anatta Pintika. So Anatta Pintika was the one who donated Jetavana Grove to the Sangha Assembly, and so though he was so rich, and he donated the place to the Sangha Assembly already, and then he came to Jetavana Grove to sweep the floor every day. And one day he couldn't come and sweep the floor. Even Buddha Shakyamuni himself took the broom and swept the floor.
That means that Mazu Duba Yanachi says that Kini and Bella Mateba. That's how much to someone just to Vayina, some of the Yukun Shibanashi, Juan Ginju, some of Tanda to Chile. He was someone said the Chenamata Chamu Restora. That would be shy.
Yeah, so don't look down on these sweeping actions, and then we should have the motivations. We should have the perceptions of what we mentioned just now. So make the sweeping actions complete with 3 phases, and then so because by sweeping it alone, then we can accumulate great extensive merit.
Yeah, so
stop here. And so sorry that there is not much time left for question and answers. So please ask question in coming class. Thank
you.
So we concluded with dedication. So may the merits accumulated, roots of virtue accumulated, especially through these Dharma discussions and teaching sessions, may be the complete cause for Buddha Dharma to flourish in all 10 directions, and may all sentient beings to have happiness. We also dedicate these merits for the world peace, and may happiness prevail the world. May the world be free of natural disasters and man-made ones. That includes pandemic, famine, conflict, and war.
Sabi kiwa di tendang jowa kuna kambe nang jiwa jisun lo sang tala yi teme nyingbo rendo se je shoy sem cho rinpo je ma ke pa nang ki kyu je kiwa nyamba me ba yang kone kondo pe wa shoy chi da ke ma da kuno sambe de ya de shin de de da kun ki je su da mu je kiwa de da dang je ra do ngoy rinpo je ma ke pa nang ki kyu je kiwa nyamba me ba yang kone Awa rinpoche ma ke pa na ki kyu chi ke wa nyamba me ba yang kone kondo pe wa shu Nyen jang kyun ke we ten chi kyun pe we kun se do bo se chu sung ku we le me tu tu pa ta so tu che ken do sha ten shu Yen sung tu chu pe lang chi se si se kang chen chen tu kyun cha na pe mo ten chen kya so la so wa te so shen ten lun do shu Kang te pen te ma le wa kang le chung we sam pe yi shin no ka chen sung me ten chen kya so la so wa te so tu shen lun do shu Christian on the Pendon de Madu Jung Engineers of Tenzing Sui Shabe City Batu. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Geshe-la. Thank you,
Krishna. Thank
Chair.
you.